was the first 8 bars of Here's That Rainy Day, and what I want to talk about in this lesson is how to create movement by playing appoggiaturas in combinations of thirds, sixths and tenths. So first of all, what do we mean by the term appoggiatura? Well, it's a non-chord note that is played either above, one step above, or one step below the chord note. Now, this bit's really important to note that the one above has to be the diatonic note. In other words, it's the next note up in the key that you're in. The one below it is always a semitone. So, for instance, if you were playing appoggiaturas around the notes of a C major triad, C, E and G, the next note up from the root, C, in the key of C major is D. So that would be the upper appoggiatura. The lower one is a semitone below. Now, in the case of the root there, that is the next note down in the key of C. But now let's look at E, the third. The upper appoggiatura is the next note up in the key of C. So in other words, it's F. The lower one, though, is a semitone below, so that would be D sharp. Let's look at the fifth as well. The upper appoggiatura would be A. The lower one would be F sharp. Now, you can combine these. You can play more than one at once, and you can do this, say, in thirds, say playing B going to C, and D sharp going to E. If you inverted that, you would have this. You'd have appoggiaturas played in sixths. Now let's play B to C down there, D sharp to E up there. And we've got them in tenths now. So thirds, sixths and tenths always sound pleasant. Now, on the A flat major 7 chord, that's bar 4, we have a whole note at the top, which is the third of A flat major 7. And it kind of, there's nothing happening in the melody. You want to create some kind of movement. Now, you can just do an arpeggio or something like that. That works. We can do the 9th and the major 7th going down to the root and the 6th there. That works as well. But what I did was I used a series of appoggiaturas in tenths. In the left hand, I played B going to C, the third of A flat major 7. In the right hand, D going to E flat. So notice that's the third of the chord, that's the fifth, and I'm approaching them both from a semitone below. Now, the next thing I did was, so that's the 9th going down to the root, so that's the upper appoggiatura going down to the root. In the left hand, I'm playing the major 7th going down to the 6th. Now remember, we count the 6th as a chord note, so in this case, the G above it is the upper appoggiatura to it. And then I went to the lower appoggiaturas for both of those. So we've now got E, a semitone below F, going back to F, and G going back to A flat. On the bar of G major 7, that's the 7th bar, where once again we've got a whole note in the melody, the third of G major 7. I played combinations of appoggiaturas in thirds, sixths and tenths, and by doing so I created a kind of counter melody with the left hand. So this is what I did. I approached the root G from a semitone below and the third B from a semitone below. I then went to the upper appoggiatura of the third C and the upper appoggiatura of the 5th D. So we've got a 3rd going to a 6th. And then I went to the lower appoggiatura to the 3rd down in the bass, and in the right hand the lower appoggiatura going to the 5th. So we now have a 10th. I'll just go through that again. That's a 3rd going to a 6th, going to a 10th. So that's created a little counter melody there. You can combine these in lots and lots of different ways. So you want to just take any chord and just experiment with it. For instance, you could take a C major 7 chord and do something like this. 10th there, 6th there, 3rd there. You could do so in the left hand there, I've got this nice counter melody. Lots of different combinations, so experiment with that. Hope you found that useful. If you did and you haven't subscribed so far, I'd be really grateful if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.